afternoon, everyone, and thank you all for joining us today. My name is Rashmita, and I am the event planner for Microsoft Reactor India. The session will run over the next 60 minutes, including Q&A. But before we begin today's session, please take a moment to read our code of conduct. We are all here to learn together, so please be respectful of other people's views, understanding of differences, being kind and considerate in the way you engage. The chat section will be open throughout, and we do encourage you all to participate. So please feel free to drop all your questions in the chat section. Let me bring in Rajendra, our speaker for today's session. There you go. Over to you, Rajendra. Your presentation is also up. Thank you.
Thank you, Rashmita. Thank you so much. Thanks, Microsoft team. So I hope you are able to see my screen as well. Yeah. Today's topic, we are going to discuss about data exploration with PySpark in Microsoft Fabric. So the name itself is indicated exploration. So the data sets already available in Microsoft Learn. Maybe if you want to plan or else try along with me, you can download it, the data sets from the link which has been provided from the web portal itself. So we can play how we are going to explore it by using a PySpark engine in the Microsoft Fabric. So before moving on to the topic and jump down into this content part, I'll just try to give a brief about myself. I'm Rajendra Ongole. I'm a Microsoft Data Platform MVP and a super user at the community platform and Power BI topics, and totally 14 years of industry experience working with Microsoft Tech Stack. And I'm a BI lead at Robert Bosch, and I'm one of the organizer at Deleted community groups. And if you want to catch me up on the social networking platform on the right hand side, LinkedIn and Twitter, and also my blog post link, dataanalyticsgroup.com. So you can reach out to me there. So if you have any queries, we can connect and we can discuss it further. Maybe we can take it forward to it and make it as a more specific in the knowledge sharing part. Coming to the content part, as I said, the name itself is indicated data exploration. So I'm going to take one of the data set which is available already, as I said, from the Microsoft Cloud. So it is related to the orders detail. I will showcase to you how it looks like. And the main area we are going to focus on setting up the Microsoft Fabric. I mean, like how we are going to configure the PySpark engine and the pools and so on. So I'm going to showcase to you the detailed way, the static, which is already available in the environment part, and how we are going to configure dynamic way of allocations, memory allocations, and so on. Along with that, I'm going to showcase Spark runtime jobs in Microsoft Fabric. And as I said, the demo part, we will come and we will work on we will load some of the CSV files and we will start exploring the data via that orders sales data part. Fine. As I said, coming to the importance of data exploration, data plays a major important role, whether you are going to work with the structured or semi-structured or unstructured, or smaller data set or bigger data set. We have to be more conscious what kind of an analysis we are trying to bring via this data related part, whether it is if you can come to that department level or organizations part, what kind of a data we are trying to start exploring. So we'll try to understand the data set, which as I said, it as an orders data file, and we will start exploring. So by using what kind of a decisions we are going to take it, and what kind of an analytics applications we are going to implement to take a right and profitable decisions in a way where the data, which as I said, it plays a major important role. So for this, as I said, for the data exploration part, we are going to use a PySpark. So what about this PySpark? As I mentioned, it's an interface where we can start. Maybe if you are working with the larger data models or smaller medium part, we can start analyzing it, and it is a very powerful tool. As per the configurations, as per the engine, we do the manipulations on the top of it and start doing the data analysis by using a language PySpark. So I'm going to showcase to you, because Microsoft Fabric is supporting not only the PySpark, it is supporting other languages like Scala, transaction SQL, and JSON. I mean, these kind of different languages as per the team's convenient and the prospect part. So what we are going to bring it, if you can start using the PySpark, as I mentioned, maybe if you are working on the real-time processing part and to store a very big data part. It's not always to store an on-premises data source system. Maybe if we want to the data part, if you are looking at unstructured kind of IoT related JSON files, we can start working on very big challenging, and that time we are going to implement or make use of this PySpark languages, or maybe other languages like Scala, as I said, or languages and so on. Fine. Just to give you a brief about PySpark, then coming to the Microsoft Fabric, where we are going to use it. So this is complete architecture. So recent updates, as per if you're observing, on the right hand side, you can see the data mirrorings, like we can avoid the data duplications and so on. So currently, mirroring concept is supporting on Azure SQL database and even the Snowflake and Databricks, Azure Databricks, and so on. More is going to pop coming up and from Microsoft tech team. And coming to the main architecture, these are all the top, like a data factory, data engineering, data science. These are all different types of products. As per the team's convenient, we can start working on it. Data factory, as I said, is simple as simple terms. Pipeline buildings. Maybe if your team is having a very good stuff on pipeline building, we can start exploring the data. We can inject the data into it, and we can do the multiple parallel pipelines, and we can do the right modeling, and then we can bring the data in very well good shape. Likewise, backend part, we are going to use the Spark languages, and along with that, data engineering. So currently, we are going to focus on data engineering stuff, and how we are going to make use of the PySpark languages for working on the orders data set. Along with that, data science team. Maybe if our team has want to take a futuristic or prediction models, we can start exploring on the data science related application or a product from Fabric and so on. So above part, data warehouse. Maybe if you can follow me, I have given recently the session on data warehouse, how we are going to build a data warehouse in Microsoft Fabric as well, along with real-time intelligence. So real time intelligence in the sense the streaming data analysis, how we are going to cope up and bring the real streaming stuff as per the data, very huge data set by using a KQL languages and so on. So within Microsoft Fabric, Power BI is one of the product, one of the tool where we can try to bring the business insights and sharing the analysis along with that. So you can see the complete structure, the languages which has been supported on the top. These complete stuff which is going to stay on one lake explorer. So I will try to showcase to you, time permits. So how this one lake explorer we can try to configure it's just like in OneDrive. So we can also configure it, and we can see the complete folder setup, how it will be. Example, I have provided the finance, customer 360, service telemetric, and so on data folders. So I will just try to showcase to you how this will be get added to our locally once we can start allowing this one lake explorer. So it is not only supporting internal or else on-premises source systems. You can see the down part external. So we can it will be get supported with external source systems like Azure buckets, S3 buckets, Dataverse source system, and GCP's global Google's cloud source systems and so on as well. So these are all the things we can try to get rid of the duplications of the data, and it will be get stored in one lake, and from there, as per the front or else as per the further development part, we can take it forward to the data factories or engineering related stuff. Maybe if you want to see some advanced analytics or maybe AI ML models part and so on, we can try to pull it, and we can do the necessary visualizations as per the data which we are going to pull it, and share the analysis to the global users or customers accordingly. First, how can we get started? Maybe whoever not aware how we are going to get started with Microsoft Fabric means Microsoft, they're providing a trial accounts like a 60 days trial. So we can start enabling this trial account to play how these features and functionalities work on our real-time environment as well. So just add it. So once you can open app.powerbay.com or app.microsoftfabric.com, you just have to go to the administrators, and there we can enable this feature. We mean create or use the Microsoft Fabric item. Once you can start enabling it, maybe the particular group or complete organization level, we can see the complete application which I have showcased in my previous slide. These are all the functional, I mean, personas, the data factory, data engineering, data science, data warehousing, and stuff, and so on. These stuffs it will be get visible to you once you can enable this feature only. Otherwise, we cannot see. Maybe if we can get start with just a Power BI application with the pro license and so on. So for this, trial account is needed, Fabric trial account, which is going to valid for 60 days. Or maybe the licensing part, maybe I can cover it at next sessions, like a different set of licenses we have, F64, F32, and so on. So we can try to configure, and maybe after the purchases part, we can start working on this a environment where we can see the different applications and the products, and we can try to see the complete overview and analysis on this Microsoft Fabric part. So if you're observing this architecture, most of the projects nowadays we are following this Medellin architecture, where it's going to maintain three different layers. We can see in the center, if you're observing the prepare and transformations part, bronze layer, silver layer, gold layer, and the left hand side completely data sources. So I'll just try to give you an glimpses here, and then I will walk you through the data exploration, how we are going to extract the data via this lake house, and after that what kind of a notebook level activities or else a code we are going to prepare via the PySpark engine, PySpark code, and so on. On the left hand side, if you're observing, it is not limited with few source system. We can try to extract any kind of a source systems like a files, on-premises database, or CRM related, like a dataverse related, or real-time data source system, and so on. We can try to pull it via, and it will be get stored in the lakehouse, and from there the raw data whatever you're trying to pull, that will be get visible to you on the bronze layer. We're not doing any changes on the top of the bronze layer, just as is data, how it will look and feel as like from the backend source system. From there we can call it as a layer, so we can just mention it as a bronze layer. From there, if you want to start doing some cleansing activities, like maybe I want to prepare my data for the next level of activities, in this scenario the different tools and functionalities will come into the picture. Maybe what is the team is ready, like maybe if the team is holding with the notebook level activities, we can do the data preparation activities via notebooks, as I mentioned, data engineering. Or maybe if my team is having a uh, very good knowledge on data flows, we can start making use of data flows, data flow gen tools, and we can do the data preparation activities, and that particular data, it will be get stored, and it will be get visible to you in the another layer. The prepared data will be available in the silver layer. So we can make the changes data will be get visible to you in the silver layer. And next, the ready-made data, where it will be go ready to share some insights to the global users. Maybe I want to prepare some ad hoc analysis. I can try to build it via by using another layer. We will try to prepare it. That is nothing but a gold layer. So this is the segregation part, how the data will be get transformed, and it will be get visible to you on the front end like a gold layer, where we will try to store in a dedicated warehouses and so on. From there it will be take it forwarded, like maybe we can try to use SQL endpoint analytics, or we can directly pull that information from the existing gold layer warehouse structured tables to the Power BI application. So we will call it as a direct lake once the table will be get visible to you in the Power BI, because it's a complete faster transfer from the gold layer to the Power BI desktop application, Power BI cloud application, which I'm saying it as an this Power BI application is also visible to you in the Microsoft Fabric. This complete setup, it will be get visible on one lake, which you are currently observing. The one lake part, we can store it, and without any duplication, either you can try to call from the bronze part or silver or gold layer. Currently, one of my project which I am currently working on, we are trying to do this kind of an architecture. We are preparing it with these three layers. We are calling it as different names, and we are trying to induce this data by using the notebooks for one of the unstructured or live data source systems, and further some of the smart jobs and data flow gen 2 also we are using to prepare the data and then make the data visibility to on the gold layer, which we are going to store it in the dedicated warehouses. Like there also we have some segregations like a staging areas and enterprise data warehouse and pre report development storage layers. So this is the way of development where we will most of the projects will follow on this Medellin architecture, from the source to the destination, from the source existing to the in center, how we are trying to prepare via the shortcut is something like maybe if you are extracting the data from external source system without any duplication, we can try to prepare that information and it will get visible to you on dedicated layer, like example bronze layer in our current scenario. And if you have any queries, please post it. I can read it and I can answer to your queries as well. And I can share my experiences, how it will be working on at my end. So as current activities, as I mentioned, our topic is also data exploration in Microsoft Fabric, how we are going to work it on. So first of all, whenever if you can start working on data related, we have to choose the competency part, whether we are in the data engineering related, the application, whether we are good at pipeline building or Spark jobs, we have to segregate it, and then we can start exploring creating this lake house. Means lake house, well, from there we can try to unstructured or manage source systems. We can try to convert it, and we can push the information onto the managed workflows. So here, whenever if you can get start with the data engineering is one of the product or tool which is available in Microsoft Fabric. If you can start working on the collection of the data or store that information, and further, if you want to process whether it is a smaller or medium or larger data volumes, we can use different ways or different tools. Example, you can try to design a pipeline to copy the data, and that will be get visible to you on the lake house. Maybe if my data, if I'm extracting example if files, maybe there is some CSV files or some kind of an Excel files, I will try to extract it via file source system. Once we can create a lake house, I can showcase to you how it will be, and from there we have to choose it. So whether we can, our data is well structured, we can convert it to a proper tabular model. If it is not provided in a way, then we have to use some kind of an applications like a notebook, which will be writing a code. It is not completely an automation, and we can start make the data in a right shape, prepare the data, and use some data transformations to move that particular table or information into the managed source system. So I'll just try to give you one more example. Notebooks, we are going to use it as a code way of approach. It is the form of a cells. We can try to make use of it. And if maybe if you're using a data flow, it is completely an automation part, UA based, where we can try to see an online power, just as like online power query data or compiled statements. We can start importing or injecting the data and try to load it onto the further layers, and we can proceed it to the managed source system. So I mean, from the lake houses part. I will showcase to you how it will look and feel once we can start creating the lake house. Fine. If you're observing the setting of the lake house, by default, there should be Spark settings with some configurations. So what is the starting pool? So there is, by default, we can see once in a dedicated workspace on the workspace settings level, you can see on my screen, data engineering slash services, Spark settings. So you can see some of the tabs like a pools, environment, high concurrency. Maybe if I want to run my jobs parallelly with another Spark jobs, we have to configure the high concurrencies and automatic log creations too. By default, you can observe the Spark settings with the pool, starter pool with some configuration, some node configuration. So what is this nodes and header node and driver node? Maybe we'll get into it. So example, I want to purchase one of the product from one of the company. In such a scenario, I can directly purchase it and I can bring it into my account. Suppose the same product I want to purchase bulk. In such a scenario, it should be configured, segregated in the form of layers, or we can say it as a pools. So by default, the node will be get added in one single format. And if you want to get it formatted from, we want to pull it from the different layers, the same product in the sense, it's a demand, right? In such a scenario, we can try to configure the number of nodes as per the data sites. Coming to our data terminology, so we can try to configure the number of nodes. So by default, it will be get configured with 1 to 10, and each node or else pool minimum value should be something like 8. 8 is the size, and the maximum for the full dedicated full should be on 24, maximum pool size. So like that, we can try to configure, and we can try to, so you can see it on the here, if you can see an icon like an edit button, we can configure it manually as well. But by default, some configurations will be done, and there we can try to use as per our data convenience part, not like is whether it is a small or else a big. We have to get it configured and make use of this Spark pool engine. Otherwise, we will face a slight slowness as per the jobs that we are going to run. And also we can try to observe some memory optimization, I mean memory increase or also backend cache level developments as well. I can showcase to a DAG how it will be direct acyclic graphs, how it will be and where we are going to look over, so that you'll get some idea where and how we are going to configure the Spark settings and so on. This is what I'm talking about. So the data, right? The coming to the first node, header node, we can say if you want to have a big demand, so that it will get splitted on the form of is worker nodes like to 1234 configured, and the data will be get stored on the, whether it is a database mean database or else file source system is file source system. So we can try to, the data will be get distributed in the form of direct distribution language. Fine. Suppose how I'm going to configure the runtime. By default, if you're observing 1.2 version, Spark 3.4 is the language. I mean, Spark engines, which will get it configured. And also, if you want to get it, import some additional libraries, we can configure it other than the using of existing pool configuration. We can also define a dedicated as per the data size and as per the models which we are going to work on. The models part we can configure it. On the left hand side, by default, some libraries will be get available with some version. You can see the versions and so on. And also we can also import the custom libraries too as per our requirement. By defaults, like matplotlib has been get installed, it is there, the version is there, and cburn, that particular libraries also get installed on this built-in libraries. Still, if you want to get it added some advanced, we can add it via custom libraries too. And the Spark properties, by default, it will be get visible with the memory capacity with the 56. And I can showcase to you how it will be and where we are going to get it configured as per the data sizes in. Once, if you can showcase my workspaces and so on. See here, let me showcase to you how the data will be get stored and so on. 1 minute. See here, I have just opened my Power BI application, app.powerbi.com. Maybe if you are start working on the parallelly, app.powerbi.com, and the dataset is already available in the link portal, as I said from the Microsoft Learn itself. Left hand side, down corner, you are observing the Power BI. This is the Fabric environment. So currently I'm using the trial license, and here on the administration part, as I said, we have to get it enable this Fabric here. Once you can turn it off, and I'm currently using the trial license, we can start exploring the different personas as a set, like data engineering stuff or data science, factories, data warehouse building, even the Power BI application which I have showcased. So fine. So how we are going to get it configured? So previously the personas, we can, it should be visible here, but here we have to get it, select this fabric so that we can view different applications and different personas accordingly. First of all, I'm going to create a dedicated workspace for this. Let me create it from Power BI, a dedicated workspace, giving some name like this, Spark demo, MNOR, Microsoft Reactor. And if you're observing, I'm using, as I said, a Fabric trial account, Fabric trial license, apply. Once the workspace has been get configured, as I mentioned, we have to cross check the Spark settings where we are going to work on, where we are going to configure it. So it is not at the some other application or something. So here itself on the workspace, current workspace, my Spark demo MR. Here itself we have a Spark settings. You can see a list of information, list of other categories and functionalities. So here on the data engineering part, Spark settings, as I mentioned, by default, a starter pool with family node memorized, memory optimization, with the mode size medium, with 10 to 1 to 10 nodes has been get configured. And here, if you're observing, we can create a new pool as per the data sizes, as per the nodes we can configure and own. And by default, this is the starter pool. So we can edit here. As I mentioned, we can edit this part also as per our requirement. But this is by default, so we cannot change starter pool name, node size, and node family. By default, it is a memory optimization. So these configurations we can change it. So auto scaling part, Spark pool, by default from minimum is 1, 10. Dynamic allocation executor. So if our jobs are more and we want to execute parallelly, we can get it configured this dynamic allocation executor. So we have to move this arrows, so from left to right, or right, I mean from right side to the left side as per the configurations. I'm using the by default configurations 1 to 9. Fine. But instead of using the existing Spark, I want to make use of my own Spark demos, or as per the current scenario, how we are going to get it configured or else get it created. So as I mentioned, the same Spark settings here, New pools, we can get it created too. Click on this, give some name, Spark demo. By default, as I said, memory optimization. This is only we have the memory node family with the memory optimization. And here we have three categories: node size, small, medium, or large, as per the data sizes, as per the loads. We can try to get it configure these three: small, medium, or large. I'm using small, medium part here. You can see whenever you can change the node size to the medium, the auto scale part has been configured this level. Or manually also we can drag and drop like this as a set 1 to 60 for each and every size. I'm just using 10, or else manually let me change it 10. And dynamic allocation of memory, so executive part 1 to 9, so we can create it. This is a dedicated Spark pool. Let me save it. Still, here Spark demo I have created. There's a pool environment. Here, runtime version, we have other lower configurations too. As per the execution, we can try to configure, we can set the runtime versions. 1.2 previously I have used. Currently, I'm currently changing my version type to 1.3 and some of the projects in my real time. And by default, if you want to set it as a default environment, we can set it with the workspace defaulters. We have to create a new environment. So see here, as I said, maybe this particular environment I want to have is dedicated libraries, I want to custom libraries, I want to change some configurations. We can enable this set default environment, create. As of now, no environment available because I'm using by default existing environment. New environment, so here we have some more configurations. Spark MC CR. It will be pop up a window where you can see on the left hand side libraries, built-in libraries, public libraries, custom libraries. Along with this is important. So Spark computation engines. So this is still a preview feature where the multiple jobs, if you want to get it added as per the cost also will be get added enablement. And compute engine memory size here we can get it configured. By default the Spark driver core is 8. Other than that we can try to configure with the 4 as well, lowest driver configuration. As I mentioned, Spark driver memory by default it is 56. If you want to get it configured as per the data size or else the storage part, we can configure with the 28 GB also. On the Spark executor core 8, and this one also we can change it 28 lowest minimum storage like memory storage 28 GB or 58 GB. So we can get it configured these compute engines. Along with that, I mean as per the data limits how we are going to work it on, like parallel jobs, or maybe if you want to get it the pool size is very huge information we are trying to load. In such scenario we can change it. By default these are the configurations from Spark driver and executor, dynamic allocated executor too. And coming to the Spark properties, suppose if you want to get add any additional properties, data properties, we can get it imported onto via from the Spark properties. And even we can import our dedicated code from here too, like by using the Spark properties and resources, we can configure it to additionally. Maybe if there is any existing runbook, I want to get it configured with the current setup, or maybe I want to working on the computation part with higher level, I can import it by using this resource configurations. I can run these pipeline, I mean I can run these notebooks via this current setup and configurations too by enabling or else by just uploading. Let me showcase one upload which I have added recently. One of the script which is high data, we can import it, and we can on the top of it we can use it that particular notebook by using a PySpark language only I have used. And we can further like enhancements, or else maybe I want to do some advanced analytics on the top, we can use this resources to existing PySpark code. Fine. So as I mentioned, These are the configuration setups from the pools and even the environment, how we are going to get it configured. We can create it, we can set it as a by default environmental, we can configure the existing resource or else new resources to new notebook or existing resource as well. So where we are going to configure or else work accordingly. So please observe here, just to create a new workspace name called Spark Demo MR. Let me create a new lake house. From there, we can navigate to the notebooks, lake house. So whenever, if you are working on larger data source, larger models, in such a scenario, there should be two type of segregations. One is file source system, another one is tabular view. So by default, we can see in the Lakehouse Explorer with tabular view as well. Let me showcase that, giving a name of LH Spark Lakehouse Explorer. As I mentioned, two types of categories: tables folder with, which is a managed source system, which will be in the tabular format. File source system, another one. Maybe if you are working on semi-structured, unstructured, or file source systems type, or maybe you want to get import the shortcuts, we can use the file source systems too. So once you can get created this Lakehouse Explorer, automatically you can see on the right hand side, successfully created SQL endpoint analytics. So here currently we are in the Lakehouse, and another setup is Lakehouse Analytics Explorer 2. Fine. Currently, as I said, one other file is available, which is in same format of orders table with the 3 years of CSV files. I can showcase to you how it will looks like, and then I'm going to import those tables into my Lakehouse Explorer via file source system. So this is the CSV format, and the same tables are available even in the Microsoft Learn website as well. We can start working on it as well. So 2019, I'm just trying to open how the structure looks like, and then I'm going to import this table, this particular CSV files into my application. Here, the first file 2019, there is no column headers we have to define. So I have written some script as so. So instead of wasting the time, so I can add the script by using the Node PySpark language. So these are the IDs. It is completely structured. It's following some kind of a format with the page name like sheet name 2019. Maybe this is a structure. Last items like number items are there, email IDs, names, and maybe this is an order date and order numbers and so on. Fine. Let me open one more file and let's see the structure, how it looks like. Suppose if you are following the same structure of the data without any deviation, like a new columns or some additional setup, in such a scenario, we can combine all these three 19, 20, 21 data sets into one single table as well by using this Spark engine or else maybe other ways by using data flows too, data flows online Power Query editor by using append transformations and so on. Fine. How we are going to import these CSV files? So as per my observation, these tables are following some structure, all the 20, 20, 21. I'm going to import these three files in one go by using a folder way of extraction. So we can import, if you're observing my screen, from these files, it's not a table. It's not a dedicated table. Like we are not importing some on-premises or else some dedicated source system. We are trying to import from a file source system. That's why we are calling it as an unmanaged source system. So it's a file. How we are going to import it? You can see something like a three horizontal ellipse button, three horizontal ellipse. Select it. You can see some functionalities like you want to create a subfolder, like hierarchy of the folder, we can create it. Or maybe as a set, if your data source is an external source system like Google Cloud Storage or Amazon Web Service, Amazon S3 buckets, Amazon S3 with wireframes and so on, we can use new shortcut. I'll just try to showcase to you. I will not go deep here. How it looks like. See here, this is the front end. So from here, we can try to extract it if your source is an external vendor or an external source system. Fine. As I mentioned, our source is already available locally. I'm going to import it via from a folder. If you're observing these files, these three files are available in some folder. Orders, data exploration with these 19, 20, and 21. Fine. How I'm going to import it? Please observe here. Upload. Either you can upload file by file but it is not a right approach because files, if you're observing 19, 20, 21, we are following some structure, same structure. In such a scenario, you can use a folder approach. What if I have a 50 files? We cannot import it file by file. If I have a 50 files or 50 different years, I'm not going to use upload files. I will try to make use of upload folder because I'm following same structure. I can make use of this approach. Let's try to import it. Just this connection, upload it, upload. I haven't added any files. This is previously just a tested whether it is with some other data sets too. It is working. You can see lakehouse name, current lakehouse, LH Spark is my lakehouse. 19, 20, 21 has been added. So where it is added, you can see here files order date. This is the file folder file folder name, orders date exploration. If you can try to select it, the data looks in this way. Say delimiter is comma separator, it is not a structured information. Fine. Even this particular files are tables, we can load it directly to the tables. But what I will do in the sense, instead of loading to the table structured way of approach by delimiter with a comma separator, these three files I'm going to use a notebook. So notebook is a coding part where we are going to enable or else open the notebook. You can see in the top there it will be get in the form of a cell based execution. The code will be get executed on the cell wise. You can execute all the cells in a go one shot, or maybe if you want to execute cell by cell also, we can try to execute it. So these are all the configurations based once you can open a notebook. Fine. Currently, I'm not loading by using a delimiter to the tables part. What I will do in the sense, these tables, three tables, I'm going to combine it via PySpark. And also I can showcase to you what kind of a data explorations you are going to do it. I'm going to do the data filtration with some of the category, and also I can perform some grouping, and then I will showcase to you some kind of visualizations too by using some of the libraries. As I mentioned, it is already enabled, matplotlib and cburns. Fine. How we are going to open a notebook? So here at the top, open a notebook, or maybe if you want to get it already, code is available from the some other application, Anaconda or some other PySpark code you have written. You can also import it, that particular PySpark code, by using existing notebooks too. But what I said, I'm going to use a new notebook. Click on it, give the name of the notebook as well. You can see the top notebook one. Instead of this, I just try to give a proper naming convention. Maybe orders data, orders data. And this is the location, Spark demo MR. And sensitivity part, we can try to configure like a confidential, highly confidential, public, and so on. Currently I'm not configuring. So I'm calling this particular orders data Spark is my notebook name. So on the left hand side, you are observing the lakehouse LH Spark. If you can try to open it, expand it, two configurations tables. Currently it's a blank, nothing is there. We can try to refresh it. And the second one is the files. So currently I have inputted order data explorer. So inside the order data explorer, three different CSVs are there with the same structure without column header. We are trying to give a proper column header now, and also we'll try to do some filtrations on the top of it. And then I will showcase to you some graphical like visualizations too in the PySpark code I have written already. Fine. How we are going to showcase? So see here, this is the view. Let me collapse this so that you can see the complete view on the canvassing part. So when you open the notebook, you can start editing. As I said, it is a cell-based cells. So by default, the language it is supporting PySpark, Python code. Maybe if our team is working on some other or good at some other languages, we can change the code also to Spark Scala, Spark SQL, or language Python. And this is the recent addition of transactional SQL too. These are the different way of languages which are supporting. Fine. And one more thing, we are observing the current canvas once the notebook has been launched. So current canvas part connect by default, it is connected with NAR new standard session. Or maybe if you want to execute the notebooks parallelly by other users, we can configure the high concurrency session. At this scenario only, the computation engines and even the Spark pool engines will be come into the picture. Fine. Currently, I will use the normal, the standard session itself. And few more things, as I mentioned, we can run if you have a multiple cell of code, we can run all the codes or cell by cell code also. We can just try to open it. Can a cell above or a cell below, we can try to execute it. And even one more thing, we can also configure with some scheduling. So where how we are going to schedule this notebooks. Maybe if you want to schedule this data by daily basis means we can use the settings part, and here we can schedule it as per the data availability, like repetition with hourly, minutes, daily, or monthly basis. Fine. How we are going to call it? It's something like a kind of a simple drag and drop. I can showcase to the code will be get generated automatically. Data frames will be get created, and even sometimes we have to write it. So maybe I want to do some data exploration with some filtration on some category. I had to write the code. So let me showcase to you. See here, three data sets, 19, 20, 21. So you can just try to drag and drop directly, or maybe I don't want to disturb the existing one. Let me create a new cell code, add a cell code. So whenever you're trying to add, this is common. You can change the language from here on the top part also. It is as per your convenient. And one more thing, for each and every cells, you can try to execute on every one. You can see the corner with the play button. And along with that, some important features are there, like freeze is there, freezing of the cell, and we can also lock it, and we can also mark it as an markdown as a conversion, like it will give a theoretical information what we are doing. So fine, what I will do in the sense, I will just try to execute or else drag and drop the first CSV file. You can see the code. Let me collapse it. Data frame spark dot read, I want to read the data which is in the format of CSV. And option header is true, but basically headers is not available, and the file it will be get loaded into this particular storage or else ABS, I mean blob storage account. So this is my file path, and I want to display the data also. So display data frame. Let me execute it. Let's see the how the data looks like to me. It will take some time as per the configurations as a set. So 6 seconds, it's still executing. You can see here standard session is going on. Few important things. Once you executed the code, how much time it has been taken. So as per the data size, yes, some huge information only this particular year. So 14 seconds. And also if you can try to open this jobs, you can see the job description, and even we can try to navigate to the DAG, which I said as a directly as I click graphs too. So how we are going to navigate to it? So here we have a resources. Click on this. Still, if you want to see very detailed data or else very detailed second wise, we'll just try to select it. We can see the graph, how it has been enhanced, or else what is the ideal time, how much it has been taken for the instance time, and so on, like as per the allocations, running allocations, and maximum instances too. And also few more interesting, I'll just try to showcase to you, which has been added recently. So as I mentioned, how we are going to navigate to the DAGs, I mean Spark engines. So from here, we can try to select it. Spark user interface dot blog, it will navigate. Let me configure with my ID. A few minutes, and then I'll just try to showcase to you the data explorations part. See here, the DAG here, DAG visualization. I mean, these are all for the analysis part, how it has been moved and what are the stages that has been taken and so on. Maybe if there is any failure related to the execution or else some configurations things, we can try to navigate to the Spark user interface, this particular web link from the particular job which has been failed, and we can see very detailed analysis at what time it got failed, what are the issues and so on, with the description. Fine. What I will do in the sense, I'll just try to showcase to you what kind of a data explorations we can try to do it here. And this is the latest or recent functionality, data wrangler. Previously I'm seeing this functionality at the top, data wrangling, but here, like in Power BI, how we will try to observe the data quality, like what is the validity with percentages, or how many distinct or unique information, or maybe if you want to see very in detailed stats, we can use data quality checks. Like that, data wrangling has been added here, so that for this particular data set, that 2019, you can see very in detailed information by enabling this source, this particular functionality or feature. And also we can also write the functions, you can test it, and we can redirect to the main browser. So what kind of an operation, like maybe I want to write a formula based on some missing data, I can navigate it and write the functionality here, I can take it forward to my visual format. So what I will showcase to you in the sense, so let me navigate back to the book notebook, my notebook. So currently I don't have any headers. You can see here the table view. After the next to the table view, you can also define it via chart wise, like different charts are there, but by default charts, we can see it whenever you can try to enable it. And you can change your own charts by using the build my own chart, and we have to get it configured accordingly, x-axis, y-axis, and what level you are doing the data aggregation, that is the summarizations functionalities here. So we can change it. So these are the charts by default, bar chart. Other charts are supporting anywhere, whenever you can start working on the notebooks part. So let's try to write some table structure, which I have already prepared some structure here. Let me copy this. And also one more important thing, currently, see here, only one particular table, that is 2019 data only we have imported. So I want to import remaining all, like 2020 information too. This is for only 2019 stats. So how we are going to navigate or else enable others in the sense other CSV files. Let me showcase you that. Give me a minute. One minute. So see here, let me open a existing code itself instead of writing. Give me a minute. This time is not there in different workspace, which is already written. Let me showcase you that. So see here, it is one more another application which is already executed. I'll just try to showcase to you. Look part. So this is a way of a structure defined. So I have given some column headers like a sales order number, order date, customer name, each item, and because there are some metrics as well, which is available in my 2019 to other data sets. So I have written, it will be get added here in this way. You can see it. Fine. What I will do in the sense here, I'll just try to showcase to you the data explorations, data transformations are what kind of a transformations you are going to perform. Here I have written a code to store a subtable like a customer is equal to data frame with these two columns itself, that is the customer name and email. And I want to count it. Along with that, I'm doing just a print and display this count part. So you can see the count with 32,718 with distinct only just a customer table. And if I'm using the distinct count of this customer table, 12,427. Along with that, one more important functionality, I just want to bring it here. So what type of an analysis we are doing here? What kind of an data extractions? So with these two columns, I want to provide some filter conditions. I want to add some filtrations. Let me add a new cell. So to do that, 1 minute. So see here, customer customers data frame. Maybe it will, I think. I had to get the note. I mean, suggestions as well. I'm not getting the suggestions. 1 minute. Data frame. Customer column is there. Customer name, comma, email. And I'll just try to read it first before the print. So whenever you can start adding the functions, right, it will give some suggestions as well. So currently a basis suggestions I'm not getting because this is already executed code. You can run all the codes at a time, as I said. Otherwise it's a fresh code, new development part, in the sense we can get lot of suggestions as per the requirement. Let's try to use customers dot count, print dot distinct. This one I'll just try to showcase display with customers. So this particular data frame, this value will be get created in the customers part. And I'm just trying to print customer.count distinct. And here I'll just try to read distinct customers like this. As I said, right, we'll get the notifications too, suggestions as well. It's reading. Any questions up to this part? Any questions?
There is one question.
Yes.
Is Fabric taking over Power BI Premium?
Yes, exactly. We don't have the Power BI Premium. So recently, if you are following the Microsoft community channels, so going forward, there is a grace period. Like whoever using the premium licenses, going forward, everyone is going to use the Fabric related licenses. They are going to give us some timelines too. So that is the new which has been recently added from as per the Microsoft. Currently, there is a FabCon events are also going on, so which we got to know. Yeah. Hope I have answered to you. And one more thing, if you're observing, hope I have answered. Any other thing means just try to ping
Yes,
me.
there's another question. So, will I get certificate? Somebody's asking.
Hmm.
I guess
For
after
what?
this session.
After this session, this is general knowledge sharing session. So this is not for certification. If you are observing what how we are doing the data analysis and data explorations, you have to, I mean, like we have to work it on, like maybe parallelly, right? That's what I asked. It's a kind of a series session from my side. So next time, right, I'm adding data sets too. You can play or work with me. It's not a certification role, or once you've done these activities, you will get a hands-on experiences, so that you will get definitely an idea how this PySpark will work, where is the configurations, where we are going to do the data configurations, or a Spark compute, where we are going to create it, what is the default Spark pool limit, maybe if my data size is very huge, where I'm going to get it configured, the memory sizes, these things, it will be easy for you. Yeah, hope I
Okay,
have
and then
answered to
there's
you.
another, yeah, I think somebody wanted the data file that has been used for today's demo.
Sure, definitely. You can reach out to me. Already it is there in the link itself, but if you are not find out, I can share it via LinkedIn if required. So this is a simple data set which I'm currently using it as in from Microsoft Learn itself. So 3 years of data we have, 2019, 20, 21. So what currently I'm doing, I started data exploration by using these three data CSVs, and I'm trying to combine these three CSVs via this script, PySpark coding. So if I am familiar some part of this as we currently day-to-day activities, I'm using PySpark. Maybe if you are very good at some other languages, we can try to change the configurations to Spark SQL. Like example, as per the time it's getting over. Let me showcase to you. Here I got an error. Okay, so I can try to get it analyzed via these resources, which I showcase the DAG pooler, DAG cyclic, and so on. I can try to fix it. So if I am very good at some other languages, as I said, transactional SQL I'm good at, we can convert it. Example, if you're observing my code little down, along with PySpark Python coding. I change it to the transaction SQL too. It's somewhere 1 minute. Let me showcase to you. Yeah, here. You can see it here. To read the data in a structured, this is completely structured data, and this particular sales order table from files which is previously unstructured, it moves to the table. So how it has been moved, that is important. So I have to move it via code. So for that, I have used a code, and here to test it via structured data, I'm using Spark SQL. You can see it here. I have configured with the Spark SQL. So percentage is a magic functionality, SQL. So I can execute it so that my data will be get read and we can see the information accordingly. And also the logs, it will be get stored, the cache logs, and also we can see those logs as well for time to time. And these logs, okay, we can configure via vacuum, okay, and it will be get stored as per our requirement, like 7 days. Maybe after 7 days I want to clean up my logs. In such scenario, I can clean up via enable or else disabling this vacuum logs. And I want to optimize my code. In such a scenario, we have V-order coding, so we can enable that particular functionality. So you can see here, via Spark SQL language, I can try to execute it. Again, coming back to the next line of code, automatically whenever you're creating a new cell, by default language, as I said, PySpark only. So here already some of the libraries has been installed, like example matplotlib. And here I'm storing the data frame with sales, and this particular value will be get stored. And I have just to defining what is x-axis, what is the height based on the particular column, that is the gross revenue. So I want to plot it by using the plot show, display the plot. So this is the value, this is the analysis which we can try to project it inside this Spark pool items. Hope I have answered to your query too. Any questions? This few days back I have executed. As per the time constraint, I'm just trying to open this one. Any questions after this? Any
There is
questions?
another question. Yeah.
Tell
Uh,
me.
where the PySpark is mostly used.
So example, if you are working with a very big data sets, larger models, okay, larger data sets, big data, and if your data is not in a shape, that means not in a particular tabular model. In such a scenario, if you are good at coding part, by using these notebooks, we can use it, PySpark. And no, I'm not good at PySpark. I'm very good at transaction, writing the queries. We can tune it. We can try to change it to the transaction. And but the complexity is very huge. We have to write a bunch of code lines. So other than that, I mean, this PySpark means we can, with the help of some these commands, PySpark commands, it is easily get it redirect and we can shape it the data in a right shape. So whatever you are trying to expect, see here, even you can try to generate the subtables which I have showcased to the customer table in the above. Customer table I have created. So we can create the subtables too. In such scenario, we can use as per the data set size, as per the models which we are working on, we can go with the languages. And a few more functionalities I'll just try to showcase to you before wrapping up. So see here, we can download this data set in three ways. Download this particular, currently the customer name email. We can download it in the form of CSV or further analysis part, JSON files and XML file format. And the table structure which I have showcased you, currently these two. And also the charts creation, by default pie chart will be get created. Other than that, for each and every individual suggestions, you can see the suggested charts from the AI engine. So let me showcase you with very big good example. Let me showcase you in the here. Please observe this. Please observe this. You can see the right hand side, complete right hand side, other than this current chart. If you want to get it analyzed very in detailed, you can use center chart, or by default some of the charts will be get displayed, edit charts are built on your own visualization. So it's giving some suggestions. If you are making use of it, you can just try to select it, and then you can download it also, these charts too. So here we have a download option in three ways: JPG format, PNG, or scalar vector SVG format too. So based on that, you can do the data analysis, we can also share this analysis for the quick sharing to the customers or whoever want to share this analysis after the data is well structured to our users. So this is the process. So by default, these charts will be get added to you on the right hand side as the charts. This functionality was not enabled previously. This has been recently added. And build your own charts is also available. Just now we discussed build my own chart, or else you want to edit the existing chart, you can edit it. Any other questions?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, please.
How do how do
Let me
create
check it.
further yeah, how do you create further pipeline of data for further tasks like model training or any other purpose?
So from here you can import it if you're observing. So let me go back to the my lake house. From here you can try to use the pipelines from here, or no, I don't want to navigate back to the lake house, I want to do it here in the notebook itself. Means here also we can try to add the new resources. So you can see here data sources, we can add the source, whether it is a new lake house or existing lake house wise, we can add the data new pipeline, and then we can bring further analysis too. Is that clear?
There is another question.
Yes.
Where we mostly used in big tech companies, in which part?
Not getting, what is that? I mean, one second, let me check it my own.
Where
Where
we
we mostly
mostly
use mistake. Okay, in which part? So Sirisha, where we mostly used in big tech companies, in which part? So basically, what you want to use, is that a big data you are asking? If it is a big data, every company has their data, whether it's a big or small. We have to be as an, we have to think through like the data is always grows, right? So what kind of an application or else a product we are using? So first, if you are very good or familiar with the PySpark, yes, we can proceed with the PySpark and we can write the code. And even the, if you're observing, it's a little tough, but it's the easiest way of analyzing or else doing the taking the decisions. So my suggestion is, it depends upon the companies what type of a tool they are trying to use, and then we can choose this, whether it is a PySpark or Scala or any type of a languages. Hope I have answered to you. Yes.
Next,
Any other?
yeah, next one is in MS Fabric if capacity is paused, I can't able to open notebook or any artifacts which are already developed. Is there any way to see the notebook without turning on Fabric?
Without turning on Fabric, no. So see here, currently, if you're observing, though I am using app.powerbi.com, currently you're observing the Fabric Power BI, but I have enabled the Fabric trial license. So once you enable the Fabric trial license, so that you can see the complete functionalities and features on the Fabric. And one more interesting thing, I just want to showcase to you here. If you're observing my screen, see here, there is a functionality. Let me showcase to you. I mean, to show, observe. 1 minute. This is the new lake house, right? I have created. Once I have created the new lake house, here by default you can see it, these notebooks and so on. No, I already holding some notebooks, I want to import those notebooks. So we have this functionality to import the existing notebooks as well. So in this particular workspace, I want to import some existing which is already available by writing some other applications like pandas, this particular anacondas application. I want to import it, this python coding. So using this import method, we can import it and we can bring that notebook here, and we can do further analysis as per the business requirements. And as I said, interesting thing, let me showcase you that. So see here, workloads are there. If you want to get it familiarized with this data engineering stuff, you can see the complete documentation, what we need to do if you want to work on data engineering stuff. These things, lakehouse is mandatory to store our data, or maybe if you already existed or else created lake houses, we can try to import the lake house, I mean particular data from the existing data sets as well from the lake houses. And from there, the choosing of the languages, maybe if I'm very good at notebooks creation and writing the script, I can go with the notebooks. Or maybe I am very good at data flow gen 2, that is a power online power query editor. I can work accordingly. Or Azure data factory, like pipeline building. I can try to create the pipeline, parallel pipeline, integral pipelines. We can start creating the copy commands and we can import and schedule the data sets accordingly. I mean, that is nothing but a data ingestion and data preparation activities as well. Hope I have answered to your query.
There is another one.
Yes.
Is this platform free to use, and what are the limits to use for personal projects?
This is currently, if you're observing, currently Microsoft is enabled with trial accounts. You can use and play with 60 days trial account. You can just try, okay, but you don't expect the faster or something. It will be little bit slower. That's what I have observed. So if you're purchasing some licenses, so see here, currently I am currently enabled and working on the trial license only. So if you have a dedicated licenses, means the setup or else a data centers part, we can get it enabled nearby centers, so that our data configurations will be near to you. You can see very faster configuration, which one of my project, right, the data center is in Germany, and I'm executing these larger models from some different locations, so which is impacting though we have a licenses. Suppose if different scenario, my data center is near to my area or else near to my region, in such scenario I feel very faster, which I'm testing on the trial versions only. It's not a currently we can test it via free trials. Maybe if you want to go after successfully completion of this with your laptops or else in your configurations, we can go further. We can suggest to our organizations or else upper next level of management.
Okay. Next question is, how do you define exactly big data? From which dataset size would you use PySpark?
So big data, example, right? Maybe one of the data set recently I have imported, which is the size of 5 GB. So that is dataset size is 5 GB, and I've tried with other applications, other way of extraction, which is taking some time. I tried directly to loading into the SQL server and from there to pull into the reports part, which is completely complex. So what we did in the sense, we have used preferably the notebooks, and the data is also very not cleaner. So we faced seconds of loading, and also it was retrieved the data very quickly compared to the timestamp between the previous other application to this Power BI, I mean this particular notebooks application. Like that we can decide it how much time it is taking based on the timestamp between others, how much time it has been executed to open or else to move it from one layer to the another layer if you're following the Medallion architecture, and how much size you are using. Based on that we can configure it, we can decide. Yeah.
Okay. The last question is, how to find cost associated to my dedicated workspace when different team working on their own workspaces?
That is based on Fabric admins will take care about it. So Fabric administrator, I'm learning that part. Fabric administrator have to get to know our costing details. So based on the size, I mean storage area, how much container you're using, so that it will be get added to your charges for the particular department or else that particular complete layer part. So that one I'm also still going through it, because I know this is on the Fabric administration part. Is that clear? Yeah.
Okay, I think that's a wrap, and we don't
Fine.
have any other questions.
Fine. Main here, if you're working on just a key takeaway, if you're working on huge data sets, big data related, like example, if a data is completely unstructured, you want to take very faster decisions by using these computation engines like a Spark pool, which I have showcased to you in my session. That will be gradually give a easiest way to load and integrate the data, whether it is an ingestion part, data ingestion part, by using the different languages. As I said, currently we use PySpark. Other languages also it will be get added, and after that we can load that unstructured or semi-structured to the tabular manner, and it is as easy as simple to convert from the that particular layer to the reporting by using, as per my architecture, direct lake. So here Let me quickly showcase to you, jump into this. So from this direct lake, so that the faster retrieval of the data from storage layer, that is a gold layer, to your front end application like a Power BI. And even if you want to optimize with some other languages, SQL endpoint is there. We can write the queries for the optimization. Even we can try to prepare the ad hoc query analysis via this as SQL analytics endpoint, which is by default it will be get created once your lakehouse setup has been added. Fine. Thanks for this opportunity from Microsoft Reactor team, Parth, Varu, and Rashmita. And if you have any queries, please reach out to me via my LinkedIn, and we can connect and we can discuss accordingly for the global path. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Rajendra. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Please scan the QR code and do share your feedback. Today's event ID is 25453. Thank you all once again and enjoy the rest of your day.